Hello, everybody, and welcome to Atheist Sunday School, your one-stop shop for everything Atheist Sunday and school.
And boy, have we got a show for you today, just like we do every Sunday.
Yep, we got a show.
Here's a 100-point show.
Yes. Okay, not just yet. Hold on.
Why not?
Hold on. Okay.
Fine.
Hold on.
Redacted.
So, we
You
are.
said hold on.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brett.
Like Brett Keane. Yeah.
Are you
I did that on
Keane?
purpose.
Oh, I bet
You're the
you did.
worst.
Yeah. Anyways, so we are a little late today because the computer just kind of stopped working, just like a minute before the stream had to start, so we had to restart it. And also, our guest today is not here. I messaged him about it. It was supposed to be Hellbent. He's a gamer, cool guy. I was on the Drunken Peasants on Thursday, and he was on the show as well. And I am going to take a wild guess and say that he did not follow the whole daylight savings thing.
No.
Yeah, that's
It appears that many of our viewers did not either. Or maybe they have.
Yeah. Well,
We should have more faith in our viewers. Not in God.
No,
but
we shouldn't.
in our viewers.
No, I can't have faith. Faith is...
I found over
I've
time
got
that's a
faith.
bad idea.
Faith of the heart.
Thanks, Enterprise. Thank you, Star Trek Enterprise. Your
Yeah.
intro was obnoxious.
The best Star Trek series.
Okay. So I have a 100-point show question.
Yeah.
Shit,
Okay.
you now we're at it?
Yes, now we're at it.
All right.
Okay. So, which 19th century book investigated the... Wait, hold on.
Bad question.
Okay, which 19th century book investigated the literary sources behind Herodotus?
Civilization, or The Use and Abuse of History by Friedrich Nietzsche.
No, it's the Quellenstudien.
Oh, the Quellenstudien?
Yes,
All right.
by someone I don't know.
Congratulations.
All right. The most popular version of an occult book called the Necronomicon that is actually available in bookstores, was written by what author?
Aleister Crowley.
No,
Damn.
Simon. Just Simon.
Wow.
It's
Simon.
called the Simon Necronomicon
Yeah,
popularly.
I would not have guessed
but
Simon.
No, it's just the Necronomicon by Simon.
By Simon.
Good job, Simon.
Okay. So that's the 100-point show, and we are still kind of waiting on Hellbent. Maybe he'll get in eventually.
There's a 10% chance.
I don't even know. So today we are going over 1 Samuel chapters 13 through 15. This is the story of the rejection of Saul. And there is a few interesting things about the composition of these chapters. So
Before we get started on those chapters, I'll just toggle between a different slide so people can see the image in the background a little bit. And we still have that weird image glitch.
yeah,
Any parts on there that look weird and scraggly and black are actually supposed to be yellow
or green.
or
Yeah.
green,
Yeah.
kind of off green, and we don't have it chroma keyed at all, so it's very unexplanatory.
It's really weird. We have no idea what happened.
None.
But those are supposed to be bushes, by the way, over near Reuben's head.
Yeah,
they're
not
supposed
black
to be
smoke.
bushes,
Not black
Wow.
smoke.
and they're supposed to be they're green in the original image, and we don't have them chroma keyed. I don't fucking know how this happened.
No
Well,
idea.
my sweater's kind of green, but you can't see through it.
You can't.
No.
But, yeah, it's
Too
just
dark.
it's weird. We don't know. So
Fun glitches.
yes. So,
Even after a restart, unwilling restart, fun glitches.
so what version do you have, buddy?
Well, I have the King James Bible in front of me.
And I have the English Standard Version.
Well, by golly, if we need them, we've also got these two sitting here.
Yes, we do. The Holy Scriptures according to some Jews and and the New King James Version.
Wow.
I was going to say, don't make me sick
Do
with
I
this
see in
upbeat
front
crap.
of me the New Interpreter's Bible Old Testament survey?
Yes, you do. And you know what I see in front of me? I see In Search of History, Historiography in the Ancient World and the Origins of Biblical History by John Van Setters.
Yeah,
And
guys,
what's that beneath it? Is that the Oxford Companion to the Bible?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
right. So I hate infomercials and or pep rallies, and this is bordering on either one of those.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad what we just did.
Yeah,
It was
that was
funny.
cardinal sin.
Yeah.
Yeah, must have been.
Anyways, I guess I'll get started with chapter 13
Yes.
of 1 Samuel.
And of
Huzzah.
course, remember, once we hit $666 in donations, we will do a ritual summoning
Whatever
Of
that may
Satan.
result in.
of Satan.
Well, or something like that.
Yes, and
We'll give it a go.
I'm using it as a bookmark right now because there's no way to put super chats into like a donation bar
Yeah,
that we
it's
can
ridiculous.
find. So it's really annoying. So I have a little sheet that has.
If any of you know how to put a super chat donation bar in without me having to custom design something that, even looks remarkably good, let us know.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that'd be
Send us
nice.
an email, MilwaukeeAtheist.com. Make a post,
Anybody-
Milwaukee Atheists.
That would be
Yeah,
nice, but we're at
Gmail or whatever.
we're about at $160 right now.
That's pretty good.
So at 666, we will do the summoning. So let's keep that in mind. So I guess we can get started with 1 Samuel chapter 13.
Wait.
What?
I'm very interested in what threats Jim Hayden thinks Mary made at Fatima.
I have no idea. Okay,
What an
just read.
incredible comment.
Just read.
Okay. Chapter 13. Saul reigned 1 year, and when he had reigned 2 years over Israel, Saul chose him 3,000 men of Israel, whereof 2,000 were with Saul in Michmash.
I'm sorry. Hold on. There is this footnote here, and I actually think Rachel has the same thing. The footnote says the Hebrew says Saul was 1 year old when he became king, and he reigned 2 years over Israel. That's the footnote. I don't know which one's more accurate. I have no idea. But it's a really weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I guess let's continue. Once I learn biblical Hebrew, I'll be able to give, more context to these things. But apparently you need to do English 101 and 102 before you can take those classes.
Oh,
Which
that
I think is
sucks.
some bullshit.
Yeah, I tested out of my English requirements. so,
Okay, well, I
Yeah,
didn't.
even I tested out of that, and I can't spell.
Okay, yeah, that's true. You can't even read.
Well, I guess you are a second language student. Did you sign on as ESL?
No,
You
I could have.
You should.
I really could have. Okay. Anyways, I guess Saul was may have been a baby. So let's go on.
Okay. Saul chose him 3,000 men of Israel, whereof 2,000 were with Saul in Michmash and in Mount Bethel, and 1,000 were with Jonathan in Gibeah of Benjamin. And the rest of the people he sent every man to his tent.
And notice how we haven't even talked about Jonathan yet.
No, we haven't.
Yeah,
Why is that?
I'm gonna get more into that later, but just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also like how we're finally getting to people who have, like, normal names regularly popping up.
Yeah, I mean, there was Dan, and he was a real big outlier.
Yeah, Dan.
Yeah. Now Dan would just be normal.
Yeah, Dan was the outlier before.
And Jonathan smote the garrison of the Philistines that was in Geba, And the Philistines heard of it, and Saul blew the trumpet throughout the land, saying, "Let the Hebrews hear." So, I mean, that's like, they use the ram's horn.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like a military signal. So I assume he would have trumpeters set up every so often who would hear the signal and repeat the signal so that the rest of the land would hear. Because in Jewish services, they have like different like vocalizations of the horn that are for different specific purposes.
Okay.
So I assume that's what they're doing here. Kind of like in Lord of the Rings. And all Israel heard say that Saul had smitten a garrison of the Philistines, and that Israel also had an abomination with the Philistines. And the people were called together after Saul to Gilgal. And the Philistines gathered themselves together to fight with Israel, 30,000 chariots and 6,000 horsemen. Holy shit, that's God's kryptonite.
Oh, man.
Those iron chariots. Those iron chariots,
Iron
man.
chariots, you're like, oof. Can't
And
handle that.
people as the sand which is on the seashore in multitude. And
Wow.
they came up and pitched in Michmash, eastward from Bethaven. Holy shit.
Yeah, lots of people here.
Yeah.
Lots of troops.
More than
Shit is about to go down
More than
again.
sand?
Yeah, this is like the U.S.-Mexican border right now. They're gathering together to fight. Hopefully not. When the men of Israel saw that they were in a strait, for the people were distressed, then the people did hide themselves in caves, and in thickets, and in rocks, and in high places,
Stop,
and
Ruben.
in pits. What?
Gotta stop. Your mic just died.
Oh, his mic just died. Okay.
Just died.
We apologize for the technical difficulties because apparently that's all this day has been for us.
Oh, for me at least.
Is technical
I
difficulties.
won't say it was a difficulty. These are all things that just happen.
Yeah, they happen. So the interesting thing is, I remember something about people hiding in caves before.
We're good.
I forget the exact context of that.
Okay, thank you, Jim, for expanding on the thought that I wanted you to expand on. Jim says, Our Lady of Fatima told the world in 1927 that if the world refused to pray to her in the rosary, all hell would bust out.
Okay, so let's refuse.
Well,
Let's bring it on. Come
you
on.
want all hell to bust out?
Yes,
Where do you want it to bust out?
all over my face.
When the men of Israel saw that they were in a strait, for the people were distressed, then the people did hide themselves in caves and in thickets and in rocks and in high places and in pits. And some of the Hebrews went over Jordan to the land of Gad and Gilead. As for Saul, he was yet in Gilgal, and all the people followed him trembling. And he tarried 7 days according to the set time that Samuel had appointed. But Samuel came not to Gilgal, and the people were scattered from him. And Saul said, Bring hither a burnt offering to me, and peace offerings. And he offered the burnt offering. And it came to pass that as soon as he had made an end of offering the burnt offering, behold!
Behold!
Behold.
Samuel came.
Thank you.
I mean, there's a semicolon after that, so.
Right. So keep in mind this burnt offering because it is the crux of this story,
Yeah.
really. The sections that we're going over today.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Lawrence,
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that this is the crux of the story. I wish anything
The
else.
offering, yeah.
Like, that's it? This is the
No,
most
the offering is
important thing?
it is very important.
This is sad.
If it wasn't for the offering, the rest of this would not have happened.
No, it's
So-
kind of like we were watching a movie and he's like, pay attention to that thimble. That thimble's going to be really important later. No, to me, it's just of triviality. And then I'm like, oh,
Well,
okay, I guess that's really
well,
important.
this is-
No, you'll explain it. I mean, I believe you. And that thimble would be really important
Now,
in that context.
remember what we all learned reading Leviticus. Who should do sacrificing?
Only the
Aaron
Aaron
and
priests.
Yes. And the way this plays down, you can tell that this section, I think, may have been written afterwards. So while most of the Deuteronomistic history was written before Leviticus, this may have been written later. So let's continue.
All right. And Saul went out to meet him, that he might salute him. And Samuel said, "What hast thou done?" And Saul said, "Because I saw that the people were scattered from me, and that thou camest not within the days appointed, and that the Philistines gathered themselves together at Michmash. Therefore said I, the Philistines will come down now upon me to Gilgal. And I have not made supplication unto the Lord. I forced myself, therefore, and offered a burnt offering." And Samuel said to Saul, "Thou hast done foolishly. Thou hast not kept the commandment of the Lord thy God, which he commanded thee. For now would the Lord have established thy kingdom upon Israel forever. But now thy kingdom shall not continue. The Lord hath sought him a man after his own heart, and the Lord hath commanded him to be captain over his people, because thou hast not kept that which the Lord commanded thee." So that's the part that was added in, right?
Well, most of this story, most of the stuff we're going to read today, will
The later editions.
I think so. Yes.
All right.
So on this little portion here, the part we just read, this is from Van Setter's. Into this story has been fitted an episode about Samuel, the part we just went over, that takes place away from the scene of action at the sanctuary of Gilgal. The statement in verse 8, he waited 7 days, the time appointed by Samuel, yada, yada, yada. That little part, waited 7 days, the time appointed by Samuel, cannot be taken as part of the original story, but instead constitutes a redactional connection with chapter 10, verse 8. So let's pull up chapter 10, verse 8, and let's see how that connects. Where the hell is it? Why am I having so much problems finding 8? Then go down before me to Gilgal. And behold, I'm coming down to you to offer burnt offerings and to sacrifice peace offerings. 7 days shall you wait until I come to you and show you what you shall do. So that connection is pretty clear, right?
Yeah, this is what Samuel does.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It allows no time. Whatever for the events in between, or for the great differences in Saul's age between the two events. It only functions to.
Yeah, there were like 2 years that passed.
Yeah. It only functions is to serve as a literary link between the story of Saul's election and that of his rejection.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's good stuff for you. Van Setter's is fantastic. I do have some disagreements with him, but he is so refreshing. Like, he just offers a new, intelligent perspective on like almost everything. So it's always refreshing and nice to see.
Can I offer you a Yorkshire peppermint?
Yes.
Then you can be teleported to the top of a mountain.
And Samuel arose and gat him up from Gilgal unto Gibeah of Benjamin. And Saul numbered the people that were present with him, about 600 men. And
How much was it before? It was way more, right?
Like 3,000?
he had
was like
3,000.
30,000 chariots and 6,000 horsemen.
Was that
Well,
force
that
or
was
a
the
different force?
Philistines.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
that
right,
was
you're
a
right,
different
you're
force.
But earlier, Saul had 3,000 men.
Okay. Well, apparently he took 600 of them.
Yep.
Yep.
And Saul and Jonathan his son and the people that were present with them abode in Gibeah of Benjamin. But the Philistines encamped in Michmash. And the spoilers came out of the camp of the Philistines in 3 companies. One company turned unto the way that leadeth to Ophrah, unto the land of Shual. And another company turned the way to Betharon. And another company turned to the way of the border that looketh to the valley of Zeboim toward the wilderness. More map making. Now there was no smith found throughout all the lands of Israel, for the Philistines said, lest the Hebrews make them swords or spears. So, wait, the Philistines were oppressing the Israelites.
Yes.
You shouldn't do that.
And
That never works
they
out
weren't
well.
allowed to
Make
arm
swords.
themselves.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
But all the Israelites went down to the Philistine to sharpen every man his share, and his coulter, and his axe, and his mattock. Yet they had a file for the mattocks, and for the coulters, and for the forks, and for the axes, and to sharpen the goads. So it came to pass in the day of battle that there was neither sword nor spear found in the hand of any of the people that were with Saul and Jonathan, but with Saul and with Jonathan his son was there found, and the garrison of the Philistines went out to the passage of Michmash.
Okay, so that was all very quick. How this happened.
What were
Yeah.
those things they were sharpening? Were they weapons?
They weren't necessarily. They were like tools.
Yeah, they were like forks and like kitchen appliances.
Axes,
Some of them I was
sickles.
more familiar with.
So it's
It's a goad. I think one of them was a goad.
yeah, that's like a big nail, right? Kind of like a big nail.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, whatever they have.
That would fuck someone up.
Basically.
Yeah, I think the goad. That was the thing that you had to drive through through a slave's ear, right? To sell them.
I kind of remember
I think that was it. Yeah, I think
Maybe
that.
it's like a hook thing for cattle.
No,
Like
I thought it was like a big nail.
Oh.
But either way, I think that was the word that was used. Goad. I think I'm remembering that properly.
You can check on that later.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's making commentary about gun control, right?
No.
No.
Well, this is the result. The oppressive overseers
Yeah.
put on weapons regulations,
Yes.
and that causes them to be able to further oppress the individuals.
Right, but this isn't gun control because
Well, this is just
Well,
general
it was
weapons
the
control.
equivalent of gun
then you should
control.
have said that.
It's like samurais are the only ones who could have an actual
Any
katana.
Christian apologist who would refer to this story in any way today would use it while talking about gun control.
Maybe. I've never seen a Christian apologist use this.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
But it
Well, now they
an
can.
interesting
Well, now they
commentary.
can.
Someone-
You're welcome.
Look, if someone tries to take your guns, you just sharpen up your forks and stab them.
Pretty much. That is what it
I
amounts
just
to.
have like 30 goats
And-
lying around.
And this is what they're going to battle with. A bunch of
Yeah, sword control.
sword control, yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that is the end of chapter 13. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please drop a like. It really helps us out.
Yeah.
And right now we are in the slow YouTube months, so we are kind of getting bent over and fucked right up the ass, unwillingly. So,
Luckily, that's Lawrence's favorite activity.
well, not in this context, it isn't. So
Is there a context where that's is Lawrence? That
do
sounds
not.
bad.
I do not recall.
Oh Lord.
So definitely drop a like if you guys are enjoying it. Subscribe if you haven't. All that good stuff.
Yeah,
Share.
Links in the description.
Share it.
All that.
like hobo wine that
Yeah.
you brewed in the back of a public toilet.
That and all your ex-girlfriends.
Access the positronic matrix of
everybody
your
else.
existence
Would
and
you
broadcast
share
our
Home
channel.
Alone that you brewed in the back of a public toilet with all of your ex-girlfriends?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I don't know if that's like the morally appropriate thing to do or not. Ooh.
It's
Anyways,
wine. It's classy.
it's classy. It's high
All right.
society shit.
Yeah, high society shit. Let's move on to chapter 14.
This is a long one too, so get your popcorn ready, folks.
Oh, it is a long one. I'm gonna be. Oh shit, Chris, can you grab me my Mountain Dew?
Yeah, if you grab him a Mountain Dew,
See-
can you
see-
grab me a water?
okay. So we initially had all of our tech stuff on this side, away from the fridge and all the recreational stuff. But then Chris was like, "Let's move it this way."
Damn it, Chris!
Thank
I
you.
asked for a water.
What are you
I
gonna
won't
do?
drink that. Fucking
I
garbage.
You have nothing.
So since he moved everything, now he has to get everything.
I don't have to do anything.
He has to get everything.
I will return to argue with you about that.
So let's continue.
Yeah.
Chapter 14.
Start reading, boy.
Yes.
Oh, hold on.
What?
job,
Oh, right. He's
Chris.
got to change the cameras and shit.
Okay, go ahead, and I don't have to do anything. This is all my shit.
Okay. One day, Jonathan, the son of Saul, and now they're introducing him as the son of Saul. We kind of got that he was the son of Saul before,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. He wasn't
I like
introduced.
how
like
Saul has a son at 3 years old.
Really impressive, right?
Yeah, he's already like raising armies and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't hate
Really
the player, hate
good-
the game.
They grow up so fast.
They seriously do. The son of Saul said to the young man who carried his armor, "Come, let us go over to the Philistine garrison on the other side." But he did not tell his father. Saul was staying in the outskirts of Gibeah in the Pomegranate Cave. The Pomegranate Cave.
That sounds cool.
Mine says Saul tarried in the uttermost part of Gibeah under a pomegranate tree, which is in Migron.
Wow. Well, I also have at Migron, but I have a footnote that says pomegranate tree. So,
Instead of pomegranate cave?
yeah.
Isn't
I
that
wanna
supposed
see a
to be
cave.
like a more modern English translation?
Yes.
Why would they say cave?
Maybe there was a pomegranate cave. Who fucking knows? I don't know. But anyways,
Guys, I think it's happening. I see somebody logging in as a guest here.
oh,
Oh, do we have a guest?
is it him?
Hello, I was late, work, etc.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Welcome to the show.
yes.
We're on the air.
I can see.
Yeah.
Ah, excellent.
All right. So I don't know if like you have your whole camera and green screen set up like you normally do.
Unfortunately, with Google Hangouts, it does not work.
Actually, do you have a green screen, right?
Yeah, actually I do.
Okay, turn on your camera, cause it'll work the way we have it set up.
Yeah, give it a go.
So,
I can't use the camera right now, I'm sorry.
oh man, okay, all right.
Thing is, I'm ass naked right now, and there's like 15 guys here, and 12 women, and a dog, and a pony, so...
Ooh,
Whoa,
that's a
don't.
fun time.
Yeah,
You
that's
sure you can't verify that with a camera?
It's just a rodeo.
All right. So, actually, no. Since you're here now, I'm gonna give you a quick rundown.
Yeah.
We all read a chapter. Ruben already read his. I just started my chapter. So if you can pull up like a Bible online,
Or just have a Bible.
or just have one,
Yeah, give me just a second here.
yeah, then you're gonna be doing 1 Samuel chapter 15. So you can find that. I'm gonna read. Where the fuck was I? About a pomegranate cave. Okay.
And feel free to interrupt at any time if it feels necessary to make
Yeah.
a dumb remark. We all do that.
Yeah, if you have commentary, just say whatever.
Never
Like-
a problem. Okay, 1 Samuel 15, I'm there.
Okay, so I'm going to continue with first.
14.
Yes, with 14. The people who were with him were about 600 men, including Ahijah, the son of Ahitub, Ichabod's brother, son of Phinehas, son of Eli, the priest of the Lord in Shiloh, wearing an ephod. And the people did not know that Jonathan had gone. So he snuck out of here, and apparently...
The pomegranate cave.
Yeah. He snuck out of the pomegranate... No, his dad was in the pomegranate cave.
Oh.
I don't think he was in the pomegranate cave. And the people did not know that Jonathan had gone. Within the passes by which Jonathan sought to go over to the Philistine garrison, there was a rocky crag on the one side and a rocky crag on the other side.
Mine says a sharp rock instead of a rocky crag.
Well, it's pretty similar. Either way.
Is it?
Well, one of you's a blasphemer, obviously.
Obviously. I mean, you're the one who's not using the King James version
Oh,
of the Bible.
shut up, you.
The strictly most inferior.
The name of the one was Bozez, and the name of the other Senna. So these were, I'm guessing that these may have been kind of like high places.
Named rocks.
Yeah. Oh, no, they were, Masaba. I think that's the word that's used. They're rocks for worship.
Like little altars.
I mean, not necessarily an altar. It's kind of hard to explain.
Well, or just like statues or some shit, you know?
It's similar to a statue, yeah. But it's still just a fucking rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a very special rock.
Okay, so like a scenic rock.
Yes.
But it's sharp.
Yes. Apparently.
What a terrible scenic rock.
It's like the Lion King, the start of it. It's like the start of the Lion King with the huge.
No, it's
rocky
not even
crag.
like that.
No.
These are much less impressive.
Okay, well that, but like if you were an ant, you know, it would look like that from an ant's perspective.
I guess. Sure.
That's how scenic you have to.
If
you
you want to pull it that way, sure. Okay.
Thanks. Man, that took a lot.
Yeah. The one crag rose on the north, in front of Michmash, and the other on the south in front of Geba. Jonathan said to the young man who carried his armor, "Come, let us go over to the garrison of these uncircumcised, these non-Jews, these crazy non-Hebrews."
Oh,
Yeah.
Goyim.
It may be that the Lord will work for us, for nothing can hinder the Lord from saving by many or by few. So he's very confident.
And his intent is to, like, conscript the Lord as a servant?
Yeah, I guess. Or he thinks he can get his approval. I don't fucking know. And his armor, oh my god, his armor bearer said to him, "Do all that is in your heart. Do as you wish." And before I go on to this next thing, I have a little footnote that says, "Do all that your mind inclines to." So do whatever the hell you want. But then after that, behold!
Ho-ho! Behold!
Oh, also, Hellbent. Whenever we read behold, we all shout, "Behold!"
Behold!
And
Oh, I can do something. I can do a little extra there. Behold!
nice, I love
Nice
it.
effect.
I love it.
Great. Excellent.
Beautiful.
I am too lazy to turn one knob to allow us to do that. I'm sorry.
I am with you, heart and soul. Then Jonathan said, "Behold!"
Behold.
Tanks.
We will cross over to the men, and we will show ourselves to them. Ooh.
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 Oh, we're gonna reveal ourselves, huh?
Come here, fellas.
Kind of gay.
Yes, I think that is the joke we were all making.
How do you guys
Yeah, I just
feel
wanna be
about
blunt-
sword
Blunt
control?
about that.
There's just some dudes who want to hang out, okay?
Hang out, yeah.
Hang out.
Wait.
What's a whole new context to hanging out across the street?
Yeah. If they say to us, "Wait until we come to you,"
That's not helping.
This is awful. Then we will stand still in our place, and we will not go up to them. But if they say, come up to us, then we will go up, for the Lord has given them into our hand. Okay, so that's a weird strategy. So...
Do exactly what your enemy wants you to do.
Well, the thing is, if they... So Jonathan is saying that in order for him to win, he must be the aggressor. That if they are the aggressors, then it's not going to work out. But if he is the aggressor, then God's on his side, apparently. Mm-hmm. So that's yeah. I think this reminds me.
It's just like, hey, I can do whatever violent action that I want.
Well, yeah.
Because God's on my side all the time.
Yeah.
It's all right if I kick your ass because I was told it's okay. So
yeah.
Exactly.
I have permission.
From
my... said I could beat you up.
Well, from real life experience, there are actual people who are like, oh yeah, no, my superior, this note says I can do it, so I'm just going to go do that. Oh no, it's on the note, I can go do that. Whatever it is, even if it's just totally wrong or corrupt.
Yeah, but this is God.
Yeah, this is about the same idea, though, that you could just put that in and say, oh yeah, that's justification enough for any of my actions.
Authority.
Fucking bureaucrats.
Exactly, I agree. Fucking bureaucrats.
We all are against bureaucrats.
Not a fan of sanctimonious bureaucrats, no.
I don't think anyone actually is.
Yeah, unless you're getting paid a lot, in which case you're probably a bureaucrat.
Oh, calling it.
Little toe suckers love them. You know, little toads sitting at right next to the person who's doing all the fucked up shit. They love the bureaucrats because it's like, hey, can I get mine? Can I get mine? Thank you. They love it.
Shit.
So where the fuck was I?
Well, that's like 4% of
giving them into our hand, and this shall be the sign to us. So both of them showed themselves to the garrison of the Philistines, and the Philistines said, "Look!"
Behold.
Oh, mine says, "Look, damn it!" Behold!
Behold.
Behold!
Wow, yours sucks.
Mine
Lawrence.
sucks right now. Yeah.
Lawrence, you missed out on like 8.
Yeah, I'm sure I do. Hebrews are coming out of the holes where they have hidden themselves. Wait, hold on. So they knew exactly where they were hiding.
Then they aren't hiding.
Because earlier it was like they're fucking hiding in caves and like shrubbery and shit. And apparently it didn't work because these guys were like, look, they finally came out of the hiding spot that we knew that they were in. Good.
Thanks, Gord.
Talking about their plan out loud the entire time.
Probably.
They're here somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we gotta hide really well, he yells obnoxiously.
I mean, you know what this reminds me of a little bit is the book of Maccabees.
Okay.
The same thing happens.
Which was written during the Jewish revolts, right?
I'm not sure.
I think it was written during the Jewish revolts. Go on.
But it follows the same theme of the Jews being shoved into like hiding spaces and forced to do everything in secret until they overthrow the oppressive government rulers who have come to rule over the land.
And frankly, I think that's wrong.
Yeah.
Get it?
This
And Frank?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Thanks.
got it.
Get it.
And yeah, addicts, I get you.
All right.
It was a good diary.
Oh, amazing. Brilliant
I
written.
think it's kind of a downer, though.
I agree.
Not a lot of dialogue in the movie.
Yeah. I wish they let the main character speak more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a lot of screen time, but I really didn't get to know them through dialogue.
And the men of the garrison hailed Jonathan. Wait, why? And his armor bearer, and said, "Come up to us, and we will show you a thing." This...
We'll show you a thing. Wow, that's verbose.
Yeah, you've got such a
What is
plethora
what is
of
your
word
such
choices.
Beautiful writing. What verse is this?
That's 12. Verse 12. Mine actually says just a thing.
So Sam
And the men of the
14, verse
garrison.
12.
Come and I shall show you
The thing.
Yeah. No, and also it says, come up to us and we will show you a thing.
He needed a shirt.
This is terrible writing.
I just want
This
a
is
shirt.
the worst writing.
I just want a shirt that says that particular verse, and then just the verse, because that verse is retarded.
That-
Hashtag blame the Bible.
That should be a new thing. Oh, Chris, while I'm actually reading this,
Oh.
could you
Yeah.
pull up for later, make sure we have it, our wheel for our t-shirt giveaway?
No, shit. I don't know if I can do that.
Well,
Figure it out.
I will
You've
attempt
got
to.
Okay.
plenty of time.
yeah, you got plenty of time.
This is a 52
Oh.
verse long.
Hold on. Go.
Go,
Oh, I think.
oh no.
Okay, whatever.
I need this. Tell me
Yeah.
when to grab.
Go up, all the way up. Down a little bit. No, up a little bit. We're trying to direct him what to do.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Click and hold.
Got
There you
it, thanks.
Okay. Sorry,
There,
guys.
you did it.
Yeah.
Alright,
Woo.
I'm gonna go.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is how we work things in a really roundabout way.
I mean, I have too many screens.
Yeah.
Like 2 over here and 1 for them, and they
Yeah.
need the big one. So.
Yeah. So, where the fuck was I? So, a thing, right. And Jonathan said to his armor bearer, "Come up after me, for the Lord has given them into the hand of Israel." Then Jonathan climbed up on his hands and feet, and his armor bearer after him. And they fell before Jonathan, and his armor bearer killed them after him. Okay. This makes no sense. So it's Jonathan and one guy holding his armor,
Yep.
and they go in there and slaughter everybody because they all just kind of flopped over.
Well, it's not everybody. Keep going.
Okay.
We have the same names for the wheel, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Then we're all set up.
And that first strike, which Jonathan and his armor bearer made, killed about 20 men within, as it were, half a furrow's length in an acre of land. I don't know what that...
I'm
That's-
sorry. I'm
Mine
sorry.
says
Like Dragon Ball Z shit.
Yeah, did he just
Yeah.
cleave 20
He just
fucking
wipes
guys?
out like half a fucking like acre.
Yeah,
That's great.
Dude, he just cleaved 20 guys in a single turn.
it says within, as it were, a half acre of land,
Yeah.
which a yoke of oxen might plow.
Okay, so...
Yeah, no, that's DBZ shit right
so
there.
longer than his weapon, right? So he's got like some magical fucking like laser shit popping off. That's rad.
Yeah.
This reads like some really cool fan fiction for some Star Wars, and I'm into this. Does he mind control?
Hashtag blame the Bible. This is,
I bet that's what it sounded like. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
It is really ridiculous. This is the first strike. It makes it sound like this is the absolute first attack.
It's like the Hulk when he smashes the ground.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it just destroys an acre of land and 20 guys are dead. Yeah, that's nuts, dude.
That's what
They have
happened.
Hulk
superpowers.
smash.
Hulk
Well, I
smash.
can't say it's boring now. I mean, this is kind of exciting. I want to see what happens next.
Yeah.
Does he win with his mega power?
Let's find out.
Yeah.
Let's find out what the amazing Jonathan can do. What a terrible in-ring name, though.
Yeah.
It's not very
But
intimidating.
my name is John.
A thing.
Run! It's John, everybody!
And there was a panic in the camp, in the field, and among all the people. The garrison and even the raiders trembled. The earth quaked, and it became a very great panic.
Jesus
So
Christ.
everybody was fucking scared shitless.
Yeah, he did.
wrote this is like, man, I got to punch this shit up a bit.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Wiped out half fucking acre, and the world fucking shook, and all the bad guys pooped their pants. They freaked out, and
Yeah, I would not.
That's
pass.
exactly. It sounds like something.
Oh, Fusroda!
It sounds like something a 5-year-old would say.
Exactly.
In like pretend time.
Yes. Like when they're playing with their fucking action figures.
He's like, hey, Cobra come at you. He fell down, and G.I. Joe and He-Man went, wow!
That's exactly what's fucking happening too.
Dude, that's hilarious. though.
Everyone's fucking scared. Let's see what happens. And the watchmen of Saul in Gibeah of Benjamin looked, and behold,
The whole.
the multitude was dispersing here and there. And I have a little footnote here. They went here and there. Okay, great.
Thanks,
Fantastic
footnote.
footnote. Then Saul said to the people...
Mine says the multitude melted away and they went on beating down one another.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking what? That's totally different.
Yeah, like, this is just a party, man.
This is
Have you
metal.
ever seen the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion?
Yes.
Melted view and shit.
Yes, perfect analogy. Yes.
It's the third impact. With Jonathan.
That's exactly what's fucking going on. Then
Sounds like Angela from
Congratulations.
Evangelion.
Then
Brad.
Saul...
I guess they did read their Bible.
This shit can get pretty intense. Like, we have been through some really fucked up things.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Deuteronomy 28 told everyone that if they disobeyed God, God would make them eat their children, and he would enjoy making you eat your children.
Oh, yeah, and the parts in Leviticus that also have curses.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones are nuts, too.
Yeah. Really
I like
fuck.
this part of the Bible. If they taught me this in like church growing up, I'd been like, hell yeah!
Yeah.
Go!
Yeah,
Go, God, go.
They never mentioned this in Sunday school when I was gone.
Well, God
Yeah.
seemed pretty mundane. I mean, I don't know how they got mundane out of this.
It was very divided, separated, never around. Kind of like a stepfather who disappeared, I guess, something like that. Never really there. Maybe he says hi to Moses once in a while, but generally he's like, he's around and things and stuff. They told me, then God gave Jonathan a death laser. And he I mean, whoa, wait. That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Then Saul said to the people who were with him, "Count and see who has gone from us." And when they had counted, behold!
Oh.
Jonathan and his armor-bearer were not there. So Saul said to Ahijah, "Bring the ark of God here." For the ark of God went at that time with the people of Israel. Now, while Saul was talking to the priest, the tumult... I don't know even what that means.
Tumult, like, if something is tumultuous, it's full of tumult.
Oh, Lawrence, your mic just died.
Like, difficulty. The strenuousness of the situation.
Like this. This
Having
is
the
difficult.
piece over both, but then just say, the thing.
Yeah, the thing. Hey, yo, come check it out. We've got a thing.
And you're
Woo.
back.
It's like
You
the
are back.
person writing this was illiterate, and somebody else like really studied a lot of English, and they're just kind of tossing it between a few different people.
It's like those 4chan threads where it's like, we're going to write a letter to Congress one post at a time, one word at a time.
Oh my god, that was awful. Just awful.
The guy writing tumultuous is like a fucking death laser, really, Jonathan? I had a little bit. Right, I don't know how to work with this.
Well, that
There
escalated
you go.
quickly.
Smart now.
The tumult in the camp of the Philistines increased more and more. So Saul said to the priest, "Withdraw your hand." Then Saul and all the people who were with him railed and went into the battle. And behold!
Behold!
Behold.
Every Philistine sword was against his fellow, and there was very great confusion. So wasn't there a part last week where God started some confusion? Or Was I
Yeah.
watching something else?
Yeah, it's like he used an illusion spell to make everyone pissed off at each other, even though they're on the same side, and kill each other.
I remember some confusion that we went over, but
I don't know if it was God causing it, but I do recall that they said there was confusion in the ranks in a battle.
And I also remember that didn't we go over a verse that said God was the author of confusion, or if he wasn't? I fucking forget.
Look, he's the author of everything in this book.
Well, yeah.
He's the author of the book.
If I recall, the logic is God wrote it because man wrote it. And because man wrote it, God wrote it. So, fuck you. Stop asking questions.
Fucking solid.
That's why it says on the cover, Holy Bible, by God.
By God, it's the Holy Bible.
My God!
So first they fucking death lasered this entire, like a good portion of this area. And then the rest of them were turned against each other.
Well, yeah, they just saw some dude who could kill 20 men and destroy an acre of land in one strike.
So you turn against each other?
You want to be on the winning team, man.
I guess.
Yeah, nobody's gonna go, hold on, guys, I got this guy.
Yeah,
no,
fuck that.
real quick.
And Timmy kept charging anyways.
And he was turned into dust.
Yeah.
Now, the Hebrews who had been with the Philistines before that time and who had gone up with them into the camp, even they also turned to be with the Israelites who were with Saul and Jonathan. Likewise, when all the men of Israel who had hidden themselves in the hill country of Ephraim heard that the Philistines were fleeing, they too followed hard after them in the battle. So the Lord saved Israel that day, and the battle passed beyond Beth-aven. So,
Change of heart.
so let's parse this out. How did that battle go? Jonathan and his armor bearer,
Yeah, Joey cast change of heart.
and they went in there alone. They pretty much could have won the entire thing.
So, essentially, Jonathan comes in, uses his superpowers to kill 20 dudes, and then everybody shits themselves and decides that they're just going to fight each other.
Yes, and they didn't even really need the help of everyone else. But apparently everyone else came in anyways to help fight this war, and then they're like, thanks, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, God.
Feels like the Lord's the kind of guy to play a game regularly. Like he's just playing, and all of a sudden it gets a little bit hard. He's like, cheat code. They're just like, okay, I passed hard part, turn the cheat code off. All right, we're good.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Don't make fun
See,
of
I
how
never
play
turn the
games.
cheat codes
Yeah,
off.
don't make fun of how I play games, man.
Yeah, you just toggle God mode on and dick around.
Infinite ammo for Joseph here for just a minute. Here we go. Okay, he's through. There we go.
Hey, he was screwed otherwise. Come on, he needed to toggle God mode on.
Well, he did unlock the sex mini game, and I admit I still haven't found that in Red Dead. So props to him.
And the men of Israel had been hard pressed that day. So Saul had laid an oath on the people, saying, Cursed be the man who eats food until... Wait, what? Cursed be the man who eats food until it is evening, and I am avenged on my enemies. So none of the people...
What?
So none of the people had tasted food. I am so fucking lost on
Mine
this.
says, Cursed be the man that eateth any food this
They
day.
run away, and he's like, no dinner tonight.
Yeah.
What?
Go to your room without any dinner.
Alcoholic father, he's like, no dinner. Fire.
Oh, that was a weird... All right, Saul. Okay.
It's like a complete trip out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, and here's actually maybe this makes a little more sense. So it's not in your Bible, but in mine, I have like the titles for all the sections.
I have little parts at the top.
Right.
So mine is Jonathan delivers the people.
Right. I have Jonathan defeats the Philistines, and this little section I have Saul's rash vow. No fucking kidding.
Yeah.
Is this about rations?
Hey,
Rations?
you better not fucking eat anything over there.
Rations.
Better not.
Now,
I just shot a death laser. Why can't we have a couple of grains of rice?
I just shot a death laser. If I tell you you can't have rice, you can't have rice.
It's a fair point. If I go to Wendy's and the manager like blows off half the restaurant with a fucking death laser and goes, "No nuggets today."
I will accept his refusal of service.
now, when all the people came to the forest, behold!
Behold!
There was honey on the ground. And when the people entered the forest, behold! The honey was dropping, but no one put his hand to his mouth. For the people feared the oath.
Is that how you eat honey? You just like scoop it up off the ground. You're like, oh, delicious.
You can't eat. And then it starts raining honey all over the place like it's a fucking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory fucking scene.
It's like Winnie the Pooh. He's just sticking his hand in there and scabbing it in his mouth. He's just scarfing it in. It's disgusting.
Oh, you can't eat today, huh? Bet you like this honey, huh? And it just starts raining from the sky, dripping from the trees, and everybody's like, man.
This is disgusting. This imagery is horrifying. And this Bible's been really bad, and this is one of the worst parts.
Let's see how this turns out. Let's
Land
see.
of milk and honey.
Yeah, right.
My mind's racing. I'm getting laser beams and honey raining from the sky. This is great.
This is an acid trip today.
But Jonathan had not heard his father charge the people with the oath. So he put out the tip of the staff that was in his hand and dipped it in the honeycomb and put his hand to his mouth, and his eyes became bright.
Mine says his eyes were enlightened.
What? Just his eyes?
I like became bright because then it's like what's that meme where you start to get the laser eyes, like when you're really angry? What's that from?
I don't know.
Woke. You just woke, and your eyes just turn red and just shoot lasers and shit.
Death
Reminds me of
lasers.
Doom again.
Oh, is it I'm a firing my laser?
IDDQD, and Doom guy's eyes just turned yellow, and they were just wide open, and his face doesn't change. You can't hurt him. So is he immortal now, or is his head gonna blow up him?
I don't know. Let's find out. I'm on
wonder
the
if he
edge of my
blows
fucking
up.
seat.
Doom guy is immortal. Yeah.
Then one of the people said, "Your father strictly charged the people with an oath, saying, 'Cursed be the man who eats food this day.' And the people were faint. Then Jonathan said, 'My father has troubled the land. See how my eyes have become bright, because I tasted a little of this honey.'"
Mine says how mine eyes have been enlightened.
Well, I figured yours says that.
Thanks, Ruben.
How do you enlighten eyeballs? It's definitely like shooting lasers.
Yeah.
Bleach.
Your eyeballs aren't like, a brain that can be taught. It's like my eyeballs got smarter. They got +10 intelligence points by eating this magic honey.
Yeah.
Although it might, be the whole eyes are open thing, and
Don't be a smart eyes about it.
don't be a smart eyes.
I want laser eyes, so I'm just going to go with that. That's how the Bible works, right? It's what you want the most.
Yes, that's a fact.
Well, he figuratively eats the forbidden fruit, right?
Honey.
That's the same core
it's
message.
pretty analogous. It's like the forbidden
Close, yeah.
fruit. It's just God's like, this.
And this is
Yeah.
Don't drink my last Diet Coke, you bitch.
So if you don't listen to God, you get smarter, is what the Bible really says.
I mean, yeah. How much better if the people had eaten freely today of the spoil of their enemies that they found, for now the defeat among the Philistines has not been great. They struck down the Philistines that day from Michmash to Ajalon, and the people were very faint. And the people pounced on the spoil and took sheep and oxen and calves and slaughtered them on the ground. And the people ate them with the blood.
Oh shit! You're not supposed to
You're not
eat
supposed
the blood.
to do that.
No, you're supposed to do a whole bunch of other shit
Oh,
first.
they are fucked.
Yeah, they are so fucked.
Yeah, God's gonna be like a volcano or something.
Then they told Saul, "Behold!
Oh!
The people are sinning against the Lord by eating with the blood. And he said, you have dealt treacherously. Roll a great stone to me here. And Saul said, disperse yourselves.
Wait. So, like, I guess they're supposed to eat all their steaks really well done, like burnt to a crisp. They're not supposed to have rare steak.
Yeah.
Not supposed to have medium steak.
Right.
You're
No
supposed
blood,
to
but then again,
burn
like,
it to a crisp.
well done steak has coagulated, like, cooked blood in it, so you really can't avoid it with steak. So I guess just
Liquid blood needs to be drained, apparently, first.
It does, yeah. They need to drain it, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna be nerds about it,
That's the kosher
they can't
thing.
Eat, like fish and poultry and just avoid beef and pretty much every meat that's not just straight white meat. So, and I guess God doesn't like pork, so that's out in the equation there. I guess it should just be vegan.
But
That's
locusts
the
are
easiest
okay.
route.
Locusts are definitely okay. It said so
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, eat those locusts.
Yeah, they gave you, like, it gave you a list of, like, insects you could eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. So,
This book is stupid, man.
and Saul said, disperse yourselves among the people, and say to them, let every man bring ox or his sheep, and slaughter them here, and eat. And do not sin against the Lord by eating with the blood. So every one of the people brought his ox with him that night, and they slaughtered them there. And Saul built an altar to the Lord. It was the first altar that he built to the Lord. Then Saul said, let us... And here's a weird thing.
So you know it wasn't very good. This is the first time he's ever done
Not
this.
only that, but he sacrificed something beforehand without an altar.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And he's
So-
still not a priest.
He's still not a priest, yeah.
He's from the tribe of Benjamin.
Yeah, he's not an Aaron priest at
Can't
all.
be a fucking priest.
He's just a big fan.
Just
It's
really
all blasphemy because
admires their work. Then Saul said, let us go down after the Philistines by night and plunder them until the morning light. Let us not leave a man of them. And they said, do whatever seems good to you. So again, this is a weird kind of parallel to his son, Jonathan. First of all, they just destroyed the Philistines, and now it seems like they're trying again. So this really looks like it was written in two different parts, right?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me.
Or they fucked up.
Or they're just hunting them all down.
Look, I read a lot of scripts and I can tell when writers change, and it's always in the linguistics. It's one will be more verbose, one will be more simple, and sometimes one will be a little bit more stupid.
And one of them will just write 650 lists, and you'll be like, God damn it, it's him again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm hearing like laser swords, and then the thing, and then tumultuous. That's not even a word I hear every day. And we got some people who really hit the thesaurus hard. But then the honey's raining from the sky in the forest, the honey forest. But he still has to go to a honeycomb. Like he's just going up to like a beehive and just sticking a stick in and going, honey, yeah. So it's like somebody's like, no, he just went up to honey and got it out of the fucking tree, out of the tree with the bees and all that. But somebody's like, nah, it ain't great enough. It was dripping honey from the trees. It was all over. They couldn't even look around without seeing a drip of delicious honey.
Thank you, Jim, for the $10.
Oh, thank you,
Thanks,
Jim.
man.
Every one of your donations goes towards us summoning literal Satan because
Yes.
that's what atheists do. We will
Apparently.
live stream it or record it or something.
Do that one more time.
Yeah, do that one more time. No? Yeah, I like
I
it.
love it.
That's
It's a
that's
good one.
beautiful.
I love it.
Good.
Can I have that for a ringtone?
Hell yeah, no problem. I spent $300 on this piece of shit somebody made.
Well, I'll put it on a market.
Okay, so they said, do whatever seems good to you. But the priest
The priest.
said, let us draw near to God here. And Saul inquired of God, shall I go down after the Philistines? Will you give them into the hand of Israel? But he did not answer him that day. And Saul said, come here, all you leaders of the people, and know and see how this sin has arisen today. For as the Lord lives, who saves Israel, though it be in Jonathan my son, he shall surely die. But there was not a man among all the people who answered him. Then he said to all Israel, you shall be on one side, and I and Jonathan my son will be on the other side. And the people said to Saul, do what seems good to you.
They're just like, okay.
Everybody seems totally cool with everything.
It's whatever you want.
If you want to go into war with us, yeah, that's cool. Do it.
Alright.
Fuck it.
Then again, this guy did take down 20 people with a single strike.
Jonathan did.
Yeah. But, I mean...
Saul is the one that is kind of like... he really strikes me as not a very smart leader. The Saul guy.
Yeah,
It's
no,
kinda like
well...
Argentina trying to go up to the United States and going, we're going to kick your ass, USA. It's like, really? You saw what we did to Japan, right?
We fucked them up.
Yeah. Well, I mean... So, Samuel had told the people that their king was going to be an idiot.
Yeah.
Yep. They were forewarned.
And... I mean, at least that's an accurate prediction that he makes.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I
mean
guess.
anything because
It's
he
like
picks
saying
the
the-
person who became the king.
Be a dipshit. I mean, we like dipshits for a reason.
Oh yeah,
It's funny.
it is funny.
Therefore,
There's cats in charge of, like, entire provinces, you know.
Perfect.
Saul said, O Lord God of Israel, why have you not answered your servant this day? If this guilt is in me or in Jonathan my son, O Lord God of Israel, give Urim? What is that? U-R-I-M.
What verse is it?
41.
Urim.
Therefore,
Sounds like a dude.
Saul said unto the Lord God of Israel, give a perfect lot.
Okay. That's
Two objects of now unknown nature, possibly used for divination, worn on the breastplate of a Jewish high priest.
okay.
Oh, yeah, these have
It
come
looks
up
like a
before,
quarter with
remember?
some runes on it.
Lawrence, these
Where?
came up before in the ceremonies for the Aaron priesthood and stuff when they were talking about the tabernacle excessively. Not much, but they brought it up at least twice.
Oh, okay. Shit, okay. But if this guilt is in your people Israel, give Thummim. My God.
It's Urim. Urim.
It's like some of those anime characters
to
that
say.
you're just really not sure.
It's a play on words, obviously.
Urim.
It's meant-
Yeah, just think of it like that. Urim.
Don't fucking know.
Nope.
Like, Urim, Thurim, it's a play on
It
words.
says
Sure.
right here, Urim.
Okay, so I get that it's a play on words, but
What?
I still am not sure 100% what that means. But okay. And
Why would they trick you with words with this shit?
well, I mean, this was
God's a dick.
it probably makes sense in Hebrew, but
Right, because the words are Urim and Thurim.
yeah. And whatever, makes no sense to me. And Jonathan and Saul were taken, but the people escaped. Okay, it seems like we skipped a whole portion there. It seems like there's something missing.
This escaped. Gone.
Yeah, like it doesn't even give you a purpose for that.
It's like, I've got you now, bitch.
Then-
You can leave if you want.
Then Saul said, cast the lot between me and my son Jonathan. And Jonathan was taken. But he was already taken. Okay. Then Saul said to Jonathan, tell me what you have done. And Jonathan told him, I tasted a little honey with the tip of the staff that was in my hand. Here I am, I will die. And Saul said, God, do so. Oh my God, okay. God, do so to me, and more also. You shall surely die, Jonathan. Then the people said to Saul, shall Jonathan die, who has worked this great salvation in Israel? Far from it. As the Lord lives, there shall not one hair of his head fall to the ground, for he has worked with God this day. So the people ransomed Jonathan, so that he did not die.
Mine says rescued.
Okay, I like ransomed more.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure which one it actually is. Then Saul went up from pursuing the Philistines, and the Philistines went to their own place. So, oh my God, this is such a fucking weird ass
I can
narrative.
give some insight to the honey thing.
Okay.
So, have you ever heard of mad honey?
Mad honey?
Yes.
That's when bees pollinate toxic flowers.
Yes, I've
And
heard
they,
of mad honey.
Go back to the, honey nest, and they make honey. And not only has psychedelic properties, it can make you trip balls, but it can also kill the fuck out of you. So, if this is a retelling of something that actually happened, there's a really strong chance they ran across some honey. It's like, oh, hell yeah, honey. Oh, fuck. He's shooting lasers. He died. What's wrong, God? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no, we theorize that a whole bunch of the Bible, including like the trek that Moses had that lasted 40 years. I think he just tripped balls the whole time because he was eating manna, which is just fungus that has hallucinogenic properties. And then they were told to drink their piss, which becomes hallucinogenic after eating manna. So they were just tripping balls. They weren't there for 40 years. They have no idea how long they were there.
So,
Early onset symptoms may include double vision, blurred vision, dizziness, hypersalivation, perspiration, weakness, paresthesia, which is a normal dermal sensation with no apparent physical cause, extremities around the mouth, and in higher doses, loss of coordination, severe progressive muscular weakness, electrocardiography, chart changes, bundle branch. Holy shit! Yeah, no. There's a really good chance they ate some bad honey. They got a little tummy ache.
Yeah, that's why they were fighting each other. They have no idea what's going on.
That's awesome. It also means they could have been in really close proximity to some highly toxic flowers as well.
Yeah, toxic flowers will fuck you up.
So this is still such a weird fucking narrative because maybe this would totally make sense to me if I was tripping balls, but
I don't think that helps that much.
well, okay. So he eats. So Jonathan eats this honey,
And for that, he's going to be put to death because Saul said that nobody should eat honey.
and it doesn't even. Well, Saul is trying to put him to death in some weird way, or is just saying that God is going to kill him or something.
He'll get you.
Even though I don't think he got God's permission for the vow he made.
Right.
So it's really weird. But then the people are like, Jonathan's great. He just fucking destroyed it in like a whole fucking town by himself.
Yeah.
So they're on his side.
Forgive my interruption, but reading into Mad Honey a little bit more, it used to be harvested in the Black Sea and region of Turkey, and kind of
That's
close
right
to the
there,
area
yeah.
that you're talking about, where they used to harvest it for drug use.
Yeah.
No,
Shit.
I mean, you're right on the money with that. That's probably identical to what's happened many times with what, they're in the land of milk and honey, man.
Fuck.
Man, that puts a whole lot of shit into perspective now. But yeah, now that they're mentioning honey, it seems like the author's like getting away from the death beams and a little bit closer to what he's actually been dealing in as he's traveling with these people.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure it had, I'm sure some of the drugs had a good amount of influence, but I don't think, like this part is part of what's called the Deuteronomistic history, and it's supposed to be written as a history of Israel. Mm-hmm. Then like earlier parts, like in the Torah, except for Deuteronomy, I think it was meant to be allegory.
What about Leviticus?
No, you're right. You're right.
What about Numbers?
No,
I could
Leviticus.
say at the very
allegory.
least, Mad Honey had an inspiration.
I mean, maybe. That seems very possible. Yeah, no, Leviticus. All the peace stuff was... A good portion of the peace stuff was definitely written for, here's some rules.
Yeah.
Because I'm a priest and I make the rules. So that was the whole point of it. So...
I suppose to interrupt one more time, it sounds to me like lightning struck a field in the middle of a battle and they ate a bunch of really bad honey. And this is why we have this story.
Science!
Yep.
Thank
All
you
right.
for cutting it down with a good old Occam's razor.
I mean,
No problem.
Moses just breathed in volcanic
He
fucking
just tripped balls on
fumes
top of
and-
the mountain for weeks and
Yeah,
came
that's-
back and said, "Look, I carved on a rock, and this is what we have to do now."
What an adventure.
Yeah, it's just drug trip after drug trip.
When Saul had taken the kingship over Israel, he fought against all his enemies on every side, against Moab, against the Ammonites, against Edom, against the kings of Zobah, and against the Philistines. Wherever he turned, he routed them. And he did valiantly and struck the Amalekites and delivered Israel out of the hand of those who plundered them. Now this seems very out of place, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, route
Because
is a good word
we-
there.
We just went from something that was totally against Saul to like this celebratory arc.
Yeah. Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
So, and that now after this chapter, I'm going to read a little piece from Van
Is it
Setters.
over yet? Holy
Almost.
crap.
It's almost
This chapter
over.
is a real long one, man.
Yeah. Of those who plundered them. Now the sons of Saul were Jonathan. Now it's a reintroduction. It is a reintroduction of Jonathan.
Oh, sweet deal.
And it seems incredibly unnecessary. So now the sons of Saul were Jonathan, Ishvi, and Malchishua, and the names of his two daughters were these. The name of the firstborn was Merab, and the name of the younger, Michal, and the name of Saul's wife was Ahinoam, the daughter of Ahimaaz, and the name of the commander of his army was Abner, the son of Ner, Saul's uncle. Kish was the father of Saul, and Ner was the father of Abner.
This
Oh my
is
God.
a hard
Of
read.
Abner, the father of Abner was the son of Abiel. Oh my God.
And he begats in there.
No.
This is shit that lulls people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like to where they're just like, okay, the names, I can't keep track of these people, and go on and on with the names that don't make any sense. And I don't know if that's intentional or not. Is that like meant to be like just?
It
shut
is
your mind out for a
definitely
second, break,
intentional.
Like they won't catch up with this. Turn their heads off for a second, or is this like just bad writing?
Well,
Oh, it's intentional.
I mean, it is intentional to write this, obviously, but I don't think they wanted to bore people. They just kind of ended up boring people. Maybe at the time, people were much more interested in their lineages or whatever.
Yeah, lineage is very important in the Jewish tradition.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a little kid coming up to me, go, my favorite Pokemon are Pikachu, Bulbasaur. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck these things are. It's like, I also like Charmeleon. I'm like, please, what are they?
I like Pikachu and Bulbasaur and Charmeleon.
Charmeleon? Not Charizard? I like Charizard.
Fuck Charizard.
You guys don't like Charmander? What's wrong with
I-
I
you?
don't like Pidgey. Pidgey can go to hell.
Fuck Pidgey.
There was...
Oh,
Hey,
we're almost done with this chapter, then we're going to read a bit.
I don't believe you. Hold on, I have to talk for 40 more minutes.
Fuck you, Chris. There was hard fighting against the Philistines all the days of Saul. And when Saul saw any strong man or any valiant man, he attached him to himself. So he teamed up with every single strong guy. But see, this is weird.
No,
No, he attached him to
Saul
himself like a
went
stitcher.
going around the countryside with his royal military and would forcibly conscript anyone who he saw fit to do battle. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, basically.
It's like fucking China, man.
That's very much possible.
tall one, you come with me. Why should I just laser swords half the army away? It's like, all right.
Yep.
Oh, okay. And here's something also neat. All the times we read Geba, it's also Gibeah. It's the same place.
Yeah, mine said Gibeah every time you said Geba.
Really?
I just thought you were
I can-
mispronouncing it.
I'll
Oh,
give
shit.
them mercy on enunciations and pronunciations and whatever you want to say. because after reading scripture, there's like 7 different ways to say certain names.
Yeah.
Certain places you say it this way if you're from the north, you say it this way if you're from the south, and it's just the place, the thing, the person. Bear with us, please. We're but a humble people.
Hey, would you like to play a 2,000-year-old game of telephone with me?
Oh, you know what? I would love to.
Oh, wow. I don't think we have the time. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
So here's a little portion from Van Setter's In Search of History about most of what we just read, except for that little last section where it seems like we just skipped something. So, the account of Saul's warfare with the Philistines in 13:2 to 14:46 contains a number of indications that the history of its development and transmission may be complex. It has no obvious original connection with the preceding stories, since Saul is no longer a young man, but now has a full-grown son, Jonathan, who is also a field commander. The beginning of the account is somewhat defective, but the events can be reconstructed as follows.
Is this like the time skip in the traditional time skip where they just jump in?
Kind of.
All right.
An attack on the Philistine garrison at Gibeah leads to war. Some of the Israelites desert, but Saul is able to maintain a force of 600 with Jonathan at the captured fort of Gibeah, where they face the enemy camp across the valley of Michmash. A brave attack on the enemy garrison by Jonathan and his companion begins the final assault, which places himself under his father's curse, but is subsequently rescued by the people from his father's hand. And then if we continue here a little bit. Oh shit, I guess it's not a... Huh, weird, okay. I guess that's all he had on that. Feel like he should have had more.
He's not even going to mention the superpowers?
No, he's not.
Oh.
Come on, that's noteworthy.
We gotta find where he hit the ground or whatever that did that.
So
I'm just shocked there's no paintings of the laser sword, right? Like you see the Sistine Chapel, you see all these religious things, the Virgin Mary statues, crying blood. But you don't see Jonathan with this fucking amazing acre-destroying sword where he's like, roar!
Yeah, right?
Hold on.
If I saw that painting in a fucking stained glass window of a guy with a huge fucking laser sword wiping out a field, I'd be like, holy shit, church is rad.
Yeah. We got a comment. Henceforth, please substitute the archaic word behold with the words check this out. Give us a break.
I don't know if he's directing that at us or at Bible writers.
Me.
We're saying behold.
I'm going to say check this out.
Check it, yo.
Check it, yo. Well,
Hold on.
We're gonna turn into a different version of the Bible if we do that. That's what's gonna happen.
Version of it.
They're gonna have another. They already have the Ebonics version. We don't need that.
I actually kind of want it.
It's pretty good. It's online.
Well, anyways, we should be entering into chapter 15, which our guest...
Yes, and remember...
Boy, am I ready. I read scripture for a living, and I can't wait to read some good old, horrible old English.
So...
Biblica.com, so credit where it's due.
All right, also...
They may have edited it. No, we got different versions. English New Version, New Message, King James. Would you prefer King James or
No, we already have that.
Any kind that you want, preferably not one of the ones we've already read out of.
Pull up the NIV, the New International Version.
Okay, New International.
Yeah,
Going.
and
Here we go.
while you're pulling that up, everyone remember to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Friends, family, neighbors,
Countrymen.
ex-girlfriends, estranged children, homeless people on the streets. Anyone who you can share this with, tell them that they should check it out. Woo!
You really should. This is the most fun I've had with the Bible in a long time. Ever since we started rolling joints with pages.
Whoa.
We don't do that anymore.
They don't make them as thin as they
Okay,
used
so
to.
this, I guess I can assume the New International Version is the latest and greatest Bible version 1.047. So here we are with the latest patch. 1 Samuel 15. The Lord rejects Saul as king.
Ooh.
Samuel said to Saul, I am the one the Lord sent to anoint you king over his people, Israel. So listen now to the message from the Lord. This is what the Lord Almighty says. I will punish the Amalekites for what they did to Israel when they waylaid them when they came up to Egypt. Or as they came up to Egypt. You know, bear with me here. Now go attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. There's a little annotation here. Hold on. Never mind, it leads to nothing. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, they, footnote A. Because it says totally destroyed, and then there's a footnote. Hold on, I gotta check this out. The Hebrew term refers to their irrevocable giving over of things to the person, to the Lord, often by totally destroying them. Okay, that's fair.
Huh.
I thought they were gonna, like, say, but they just meant to, like, you know, misplace it by destroy. That's what they meant. No, they're talking about killing stuff. So let's...
So they're functionally human sacrifices.
Now, go attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put death to men, women, children, and infants, cattle, and sheep, and camels, and donkeys.
So fucking destroy everything, kill it. It's absolute fuck everything up.
Men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys. They really need a grammar check here, but you know what? Who am I to judge?
Anything,
Not God.
anything that exists, kill it.
Yeah, just annihilate, basically. So Samuel summoned the men that mustered them at Telaim. I don't know how to... Telaim. 200... You know what? If I just mispronounce something, just assume that I'm a dipshit. We'll just go with that. So Saul summoned the men and mustered them at Telaim, 200,000 foot soldiers and 10,000 from Judah. Saul went to the city of Alamek and set ambush in the ravine. Then he said to the Canaanites, Go away, leave the Amalekites so that I do not destroy you along with them, for you showed kindness to all the Israelites when they came up out of Egypt. This is really weird. So the Canaanites moved away from the Amalekites. So he's just get away. You were nice. Go away. Everything else here's fucked.
Yep.
Then Saul attacked the Amalekites all the way from Halavath to Shur, near the eastern border of Egypt. He took Agag, king of the Amalekites, alive, and all of his people he totally destroyed with his sword, and it was radical.
It was so cool. He was like, by the power of Grayskull, and then stabbed all of them.
I have the power! So he just iced them with his sword. It says totally destroyed them with the sword.
Yeah, I do have devoted to destruction all the people with the edge of the sword. But with the edge of the sword comment reminds me of this song by Tyr. I think it's just called By the Sword in My Hand.
Yeah? Is
Yeah.
that what it reminds you of?
It
Lawrence?
does. It reminds me of that.
Well, that's really special. Lawrence.
Thanks.
I just keep thinking of the magic sword. This is rad. Like, these swords are fucking cool. No wonder. I mean, anime can take a note is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So moving forward. But Saul and the army spared Agag and the best sheep and cattle, fat calves and lambs and everything that was good. They were unwilling to destroy completely, but everything that was despised and weak, they totally destroyed. Can you tell that I read scripts for a living?
Yes.
So they left all the good stuff. They just like killed all of the awful stuff. And it's like, that sheep, look how fat it is.
Yeah.
Leave it alive. It can
Too
barely
fat
walk.
to live.
I thought they hated gluttony. Okay, on to 10. Then the word of the Lord came to Samuel. I regret that I have made Saul king because he has turned away from me and has not carried out my instructions. Samuel was angry and cried out to the Lord all that night. Okay, that's pretty embarrassing to have written down that you cried all night long.
And it's not only that, but let's just take a note. So God has now, because he has regretted multiple things that he has done.
Yeah.
He regretted flooding the earth.
He regretted making man
Did he?
when he flooded the earth.
So it's very interesting to see these two different faces of God, and it kind of shows us the evolution of the God concept in ancient Israel. So early on, we see that God is kind of anthropomorphized.
But he's not being anthropomorphized at the moment.
Well, he kind of is, because now he has these very human feelings like regret. Because in some things, it's not about that at all.
But it's not like...
Well, the way it's pronounced here, at least in the new version, is then the word of the Lord came to Samuel. So that can mean damn near anything. A note could have fell from the sky. A bush could have talked to him. Could have just heard it in his sleep. Maybe he just had a spoonful of honey, and all of a sudden he heard God and just cried all night long because of all the animals jumping in his dreams, the fat sheep and whatnot.
Well, maybe, but I'm mostly talking about the phrase regret there. So that's the human part that I'm talking about. We get that in Genesis, in parts of Genesis at least.
It's not very omnipotent if he regretted making Saul king. I mean, I guess Saul has free will, though, right? So this is how this would be explained. He made Saul king and gave him power, but then Saul's a dick.
But this also kind of goes against the whole the idea that God knows like everything that's to be known.
God knew he would regret that?
Well, it's never really posited, actually. No, I've been keeping track of God's powers.
If you have hold on. If you have prophecy,
Yes.
and you are receiving prophecy from God,
Right.
then that God would necessarily know the future.
If you're getting prophecy, well, I mean, look at where they've gotten prophecy. Has it ever been, like, directly one-to-one that this is what happens, or is it, like, thinly veiled mystical bullshit?
I mean, well, I guess it depends on the case.
Like, with Joseph, that was thinly veiled mystical bullshit. He was literally reading people's dreams and predicting the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he had a laser sword.
And that made him a prophet, or a seer.
Yeah.
Right.
But he was presumably receiving that from God.
But
Otherwise, we're positing that humans know things that God doesn't.
They established earlier, if you remember, that the way to tell a legitimate prophet apart from a not legitimate prophet is if their prophecies come true, then that means they were sent by God.
Right, okay.
And if they don't come true, you're supposed to kill them. So, there you go.
Oh,
Like,
all right.
From what I can tell here, like canon-wise, as far as God's power, it seems when God bleeds off a little bit of his strength to somebody, they can go haywire on him. So while God sends people, like, they took the apple, Adam and Eve became assholes. He gives power to old Samuel here, Saul. And he's like, man, damn it, that Saul. I gave him power and I gave him Mr. Laser Sword, and he's a dick. He didn't carry out my instructions at all.
No, Jonathan had Jonathan had the
You're right, Jonathan.
destroy everything powers.
I'm not good at Bibling, but it is fun.
Yeah, but yeah, all this power and stuff. But he definitely chose, or I guess Samuel would have chosen.
Yeah.
So it's just really weird that so it looks like from how this is written, God chose Saul through Samuel. Mm-hmm. So
why does God need Samuel as like middle management?
He doesn't. It's just goodbye free will because
It's
God
just
likes
fun?
to mess with it.
Oh, it's because of bloodlines, right? Samuel can perform sacrifices unto the Lord, which means he's of the Aaronid bloodline within the narrative.
Bureaucracy.
Right? And Saul can't perform sacrifices unto the Lord, so in order to have that attachment, Saul has to go to Samuel.
I guess.
My taxes were less complex than this.
Oh yeah, their tax system, it was just a 10% flat tax on all of the goods you produced.
Oh, and don't forget.
I would kill people with my laser sword for that.
All right. Well, anyways, let's continue.
Okay. It's just he's crying all night to
Yeah.
the Lord. It makes me laugh. Samuel was angry and he cried out to the Lord all night. Early in the morning, Samuel got up and went to meet Saul after he wiped his tears away. But he was told, Samuel has gone to Carmel. Caramel, delicious. Yeah. Samuel's gone to Carmel. There he has set up a monument in his own honor and has turned and gone down to Gilgal. When Samuel reached him, the Lord said, the Lord bless you. I have carried out the Lord's instructions. But Samuel said, what then is this bleating of sheep in my ears? And what is this lowing of the cattle that I hear? Saul answered, the soldiers brought them from the Amalekites. They spared the best sheep and cattle as a sacrifice to the Lord your God. But we totally destroyed the rest, and it was awesome. Enough! Samuel said to Saul, let me tell you what the Lord said to me last night. Tell me, Saul replied. Samuel said, although you were once small in your own eyes, did you not become the head of the tribes of Israel? The Lord anointed you king over Israel, and he sent you on a mission saying, go and completely destroy these wicked people, the Amalekites, wage war against them until you have wiped them out. Why did you not obey the Lord? Why did you pounce on plunder and do evil in the eyes of the Lord? But I did obey the Lord, Saul said. I went on a mission the Lord assigned me, and I completely destroyed the Amalekites, and I brought back Agag, their king. The soldiers took your sheep and cattle from the plunder, the best of what was devoted to God in order to... Oh, sorry, this is still in. The soldiers took the sheep and cattle from the plunder, the best of what was devoted to God in order to sacrifice them to your Lord, to the Lord your God at Gilgal. But Samuel replied, and this is in fancy quotes, does the Lord delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as much as obeying the Lord? Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta get this right. I'm paraphrasing too much. Does the Lord delight in burnt offering and sacrifices as much as in obeying the Lord? To obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams. For rebellion is like a sin of divination, and arrogance from the evil of idolatry, because you have rejected the word of the Lord, and he has rejected you as king.
Mine says witchcraft instead of divination.
Ooh.
Fucking witches. Fucking Wiccans.
This one. They didn't want to like scare the kids away. You think witches are cool. This is pretty rad though. He's like, you brought back that fat ram, you dumb piece of shit. We said kill it all.
Yeah, you're supposed to kill him.
Fucking wipe him out.
This is the moral character of God.
Yes. When God says commit genocide.
You commit genocide.
Yeah.
I love Samuel's excuse, like, but look, the ram's all fat. Look at him, he's so fat and cute. Can't we just like cut his guts open for you? You love that, don't you? Come on, man. Look how fat he is. He can barely walk.
Delicious.
Okay, we'll continuing on then. Then Saul said to Samuel, I have sinned. I violated the Lord's command and your instructions. I was afraid of the men, and so I gave in to them. Now I beg you, forgive my sin and come back with me so that I may worship the Lord. But Samuel said to him, I will not go back with you. You have rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord has rejected you as king over Israel.
Ooh, snap.
No forgiveness here.
Nope.
As Samuel turned to leave, Saul caught hold of the hem of his robe, and it tore. Samuel said to him, the Lord has torn the kingdom of Israel from you today, and has given it to one of your neighbors, to one better than you. This is goofy. He who is the glory of Israel does not lie or change his mind, for he is not a human being, that he should change his mind.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
Never change your mind about anything. Also, they're totally not talking about God, because God has changed his mind. Hell, within this chapter.
Yeah.
Even.
Okay. Saul replied, I have sinned, but please honor me before the elders of my people and before Israel. Come back with me so that I may worship the Lord of your God. And so Samuel went back with Saul and worshiped the Lord. And then Samuel said, bring me Agag, the king of the... I love that name. Bring me Agag. Bring me Agag, king of the Amalekites. Agag came to him in chains, and he thought, surely the bitterness of death is past. But Samuel said, as your sword has made women childless, so it will make your mother... Hold on. This is hard to read. Bear with me, please. As your sword has made women childless, so will your mother be childless among women. And Samuel put Agag to death before the Lord at Gilgal.
Mine says Samuel hewed Agag in pieces before the Lord in Gilgal.
I have hacked.
Oh,
I have
that
hacked.
wasn't just like a poke with a sword. That's like just fucking wailing on him.
He went to
Like he went off.
Yeah, he fucked him up, man.
Hacked. I have hacked him to pieces.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
Yeah.
It's like going fucking Skyrim on him.
Yeah. No body parts. No complete
Then he slam
body
dunked the
parts.
head. And, well, this is a really weird version of the Bible. No, it doesn't say that. I'm a jackass. Okay, one more bit. Then Samuel left for Ramah. But Samuel went up to his home at Gilgal of Saul. Until man, this is all Pokemon to me. I'm sorry. Until the day Samuel died, he did not go to see Saul again, though Samuel mourned for him, and the Lord regretted that he made Saul king over Israel.
So
Wow.
There we go.
yeah, that was chapter 15, and I think I actually do have something on chapter 15 here pulled
Wow,
up.
that's amazing. I can't
Yeah.
believe it.
Yeah, right. This is from Van Setter's Insert History.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Sorry, it's hard.
Wow!
I'm feigning interest so
Well,
hard.
aren't you guys lucky in the audience?
Anyways, there has been, and this is just about this chapter, there's been considerable diversity of opinion about whether it is early or late and how it relates to the other stories. Many scholars think that the work represents, at the very least, early traditions about holy war in the time of Saul that were later reworked. However, serious questions may be raised about the account of the war. Questions that discredit its historicity, credibility, and antiquity. First, the story suggests that Saul had complete control over both Israel and Judah, but there are many reasons to doubt this. And he gives a little source here. The story of David's rise does not seem to recognize control of Judah by Saul. That's interesting. That's neat. Which comes later. We're actually going to get into that next week. Second, the description of the obliteration of the Amalekites is in conflict with the account of David's campaign against this group later on.
Yeah, they come
Wait.
back.
So
He fights them again.
Wait. So David, essentially, does the hashtag not my president to Saul? He's like, nope, didn't happen. I don't accept it. So
I'm gonna kill him instead. It's kind of. It reminds me of that Carlin, or not the Carlin, but the Louis C.K. thing, where he was in the bit. Nope. No, never mind. It was Carlin. So I'm fucking this up, man.
Wow, you're bad.
how do you confuse George Carlin and Louis C.K.?
Louis
And
C.K.
then it's still Carlin.
Fuck off. Louis
You're getting through your
C.K.
thoughts better than I got through this.
Louis C.K. got a lot of his inspiration from Carlin. All right, they do have some similar like
Are we
tones.
quoting
and shit.
something or arguing a shitty point?
Fucking
Look,
fuck off.
you're biblically correct. Let's move on.
So this reminds me of when Carlin was talking about war and how it's like you give us a color, we'll wipe them out, and how if somebody else wants to wipe somebody out, it's like no, that's our fucking job. We're gonna wipe them out, not them. They're not gonna wipe them out. We're gonna wipe them out.
Oh yeah,
Good story, bro.
I see.
Nice. Anyways,
I just like that Samuel cried all night long. Like, he was so sad that he fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, he cried
like,
all night long to the Lord, too, so he was like,
Yeah.
oh, God, why?
Loud enough
he
that
did.
people heard it enough to write it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like,
And
and
they're
he was
like,
a
God
bitch all
damn,
night.
Samuel, geez. You know, it'll be all right.
So then, finally, the oldest stories about Saul in the previous texts show that Samuel had no historical role in Saul's monarchy. That this was only created by a later redactor. The story in chapter 15 has all the marks in form and theme of a late fabrication.
Oh, no wonder it sounded out of place.
Wow.
Actually,
Everything.
yeah, as for the story's form, he lists some scholar here. So Birch has recently analyzed the components according to C. Westerman's forms of prophetic speech. He finds that the story fits the type that Westerman calls the judgment speech to the individual, albeit in a rather drawn-out narrative style. In this respect, it is similar to 13:7 to 15a, so that's the first part of chapter 15. Birch also follows Westerman in dating such a form to the period before the classical prophets, and in agreeing that a quote, a few examples extend into the time of the writing prophets, only to disappear completely after that. And the prophets, I think, were written after. No, wait, hold on. No, the prophets are. Do people include First Samuel as the prophets? Fucking, I
Finish the
forget.
sentence, bro.
I fucking forget what the.
Are you telling me that Samuel is not a canonical character? Because I have all of my fan art ready to go, and if he's not canon, I got to throw it all away.
Aw.
We should hashtag Samuel as canon.
Well,
Samuel's
I guess it
canon,
depends on the
yes.
prophets
Sam is
later or
canon.
early. Well, either way, these are. Either way, that story doesn't fucking belong there. Probably shouldn't be there.
And with
Well,
that
thank
being
you for letting
said,
me read
that
a
was
whole lot of
everything.
bullshit, but I did like the thing about the fat ram. I don't know. In my head, I just pictured this really fat fucking ram, like overfed, barely can walk, and he's like destroying everything. Then he just sees a little glint in the fat ram's eyes. He's like, "Oh, the God will really like it if I stab you last. Bring me home." Come
All right.
Tasty Rams, man.
So we do have some compliments here. So Rachel said this is the best reading of the Bible in the entire series of Atheist Sunday School. Hell yeah. Let's see.
Thank you.
Landon, wow, great reading. Excellent guest reading today. So Landon says you did amazing, Hellbent, and I fucking loved it. I love the reading.
Hellbent, why don't you chill your channel for our listeners in the audience?
Well, I would, but the thing about my channel is I'm just completely redoing it. But it's Hellbent TMA. You can go there. It's just me playing Red Dead Redemption right now. I'm doing a Q&A tonight. But due to the way that YouTube's operating, I have to restructure everything. So if you're going there and see what you see now, I'm just about to change it anyway. So you know what? I'm just here for fun. Don't worry about it.
what's the deal
Thank
with,
you very much. It was very fun to read this, and I probably should have done some practice. I literally just woke up. So
Right, no, that's fine.
That's okay. Daylight
Yeah,
savings.
me too.
Yeah.
I woke up at like 1. I'm like, fuck, it's okay if I'm 20 minutes late. Fuck it. I got up. The God says not to lie, and I will not lie.
Hey, that's
Well,
how you do it.
Very moral guy right here. I'm going to do some last minute shilling here, obviously.
Oh,
If you guys...
God.
Oh, the wheel. We got it.
Oh, the wheel.
Hold on. Let me pull the wheel up.
Yes, just...
Let me. No,
Oh.
So-
So here is the wheel, everybody. Are you ready for the spin? Who's ready for the
You
spin?
have, like, no battery.
I have like no battery.
Okay.
I'm running
So,
out.
I'm gonna...
Why don't
Spin the
you
wheel.
guys
I'll finish
end
this
the
whole thing.
show?
I'll end the
Here
show
it is.
tonight,
I'm
I guess.
spinning it.
Okay.
It's spinning.
Okay.
It's coming to a stop. It's
Who's-
on the blue one.
It's on the blue one. What's the name on that? I can't see from here.
Really?
Yeah.
Me neither.
Okay, hold on. It's for me. I'm finally seeing it. Dwayne. Okay, so it's DB. DB Cisco. Yeah, it's Dwayne. Yeah. So he wins the shirt. I'm going to be I'm gonna be messaging him, getting all that stuff figured out. That's our winner for this month's T-shirt contest. And remember, if you're a $10 patron, you get entrance into our monthly t-shirt giveaway. $5 patrons get a copy of all the books that we publish. $1 patrons get behind the scenes stuff. $20 patrons get some other stuff. Fucking
Yeah, this is a list of shit. You can look at
yeah. The entire list is on our Patreon, and the link is in the description. So definitely check that out if you like what we do and want to support us. It really does help.
Let's do the see you next Sunday thing.
Yeah. I'll do that. What else do I have to show?
I'm changing up my entire YouTube channel, so yeah, that Patreon shit does matter. Trust me, it's going down the toilet hard.
Oh yeah.
Not just me. If it was just me, I'd be like, oh well, my channel is failing. But I'm looking at like across the board, and I see like big people complain. It's like, why didn't I get so many views this week? And I'm like, oh no, here it comes. We've been waiting for it for 4 years. The day is nigh.
Yeah, everyone's getting fucked. So, what else do I have to chill out? Our Facebook page, our Twitter, at MKE Atheists. Facebook page is just Milwaukee Atheists.
We have a website.
Yep, website, MilwaukeeAtheist.com. All of our links.
Teespring, that's the one you missed.
All of our links are in the description. Teespring also, get yourself a cool shirt. Wacky and fun.
Wacky and fun shirts.
Yeah.
Turn it off, Ruben. Okay.
All right.
Why have a green screen if you're not gonna have fun with it?
Exactly. Yeah, so everyone, see you next Sunday.